15 Ways to Build a Growth Mindset. A growth mindset is simply the belief that our basic abilities can be developed and improved through dedication and hard work. Developing a growth mindset could contribute to a fuller, more meaningful life because the range of experiences that such a life encompasses will be considerably broader. Welcome to Wisdom Box. At Wisdom Box we are going to learn some tools and techniques to improve our skills. Changing one's mindset from a fixed perspective to a growth mindset may seem daunting, but by taking baby steps, anyone who wants to can build a growth mindset. Here are 15 ways to build a growth mindset. 1. Rewire your mindset. Our mindsets are all based on what we believe and think. With this in mind, there are a number of things you can work on to rewire your mindset. Some things to consider are: acknowledge your faults and look for ways to overcome them. Look at challenges as opportunities. Replace the word failing with learning. Redefine genius too. Being a genius requires hard work. It's not some unobtainable talent. Seek criticism as positive too. 2. Acknowledge and embrace imperfection in self and others, as it is the spice that makes us individuals. We all have our flaws, peculiarities, and weirdness, our imperfections. Like the small black mole on Marilyn Monroe's face, our imperfections make us unique. 3. Face your challenges bravely. If you find yourself terrified in the face of a serious challenge, stop and reframe the situation in your mind. Consider your challenge as an opportunity, thus slightly shifting your perspective to make it easier for you to engage. Each challenge or opportunity invites us into a new experience that is a sort of adventure. Try different tactics to coach yourself about how to explore a new path, or how to develop a new skill, or how to interact with a new group of people, or to navigate through new circumstances. As an adventure, fear is an acceptable feeling. You press forward anyway because it's exciting and new. If you take this same attitude with a crisis at work or whatever the challenge, you can discover abilities you didn't know you even possessed. 4. Pay attention to your words and thoughts. Start to pay attention to the words you speak, even the words in your mind. If your words are low or dark, the results may be also. So watch yourself. Listen to what you are saying and thinking. Censor yourself and become your own guide. Replace negative thoughts with more positive ones to build a growth mindset. Replace judgment with acceptance, hate with compassion. If you are disrespecting yourself or lowering your ethical standards, the outcome of your decisions and their consequences will reflect that. Intend to think higher thoughts and hold yourself to it. 5. Don't look for approval all the time. This could also be considered as a way to be more independent when it comes to approval. When we place our efforts towards pleasing a person other than ourselves, we start to lose ourselves. Instead of focusing on what others think, focus on your own learning and growth in the area. Don't wait for somebody's approval. 6. Take a step deeper into authenticity. Pretending to be someone who you are not disrespecting who you really are. It makes you a fake. It diminishes what you have to offer. Becoming truly authentic is a process that takes time and a lot of inner work. Once you do, you'll likely be more driven to pursue your true goals, which puts you in a growth mindset. 7. Cultivate a sense of purpose. Does your life feel like it is purpose-driven? If yes, define for yourself what that purpose encompasses. If you are drawing a blank, ask that your life's purpose become clear to you. Meditate or contemplate on purpose and see what tidbits come through until you feel like you know the essence of your purpose, or perhaps part of it. Then pursue it. That's what'll help you build a growth mindset. 8. Do things that are tough. Those who have a fixed mindset will avoid tasks that present challenges to them. They would rather stick with what they are comfortable with. Instead of doing that, throw yourself into the deep end. Even in situations where you're not fully aware of what you need to do. I'm not saying do anything reckless, but rather be strategic with them. Ask yourself if you could see yourself getting into that type of work or doing that project. If you have a passion for it, then you're going to learn more about it, even though at the moment you don't have the skills to handle the job well. 9. Spend more time in reflection. Self-reflection is an invaluable tool. It provides opportunities for us to ask ourselves questions. We can also use it as a means to rewire ourselves and to see things in a new light as well. You can use the reflection time to learn and to process what you are learning. 10. Turn criticism around until you find its gift. The purpose of criticism is to make things better. Someone else can see what you are doing from a slightly different perspective than you and may have some valuable suggestions for you. If you open up to hearing suggestions, you can more easily develop your growth mindset. 11. Enjoy the process over the result. While the end results are great, that's not the reason we pursue learning and growth. Yes, there are more perks, but the end results are fleeting, and often, people who do something for the sake of end results find themselves stalled. They're stuck and not sure what to do next. Instead, when we value the process and find joy in putting the effort and learning, we begin to grow more that way. 12. Learn from the mistakes of others. If you can learn from the mistakes of others, then you may be able to make fewer mistakes. This can sometimes calm the fear of trying new things, a key aspect of building a growth mindset. There have been people over years and decades who have gone the same way you're going now. Sure, there may be differences and their journey took different turns, but you can still learn. Don't go and compare yourselves to them, but look at those stories to remind yourself that other people have the same weaknesses as you do. 13. Start saying yet more or not yet. It's a powerful phrase because it leaves room for growth. You have not yet reached where you want to be. Sounds powerful, right? When struggling with a task, remind yourself that you just haven't mastered it yet. If you stick with it, time and practice will lead to improvement. 14. Speed is not important. When you have a growth mindset, the end results are less of a focus. Instead, you fully engage and put effort into the process, no matter how long it takes. Incidentally, focusing on the process often also improves results, because you did put a lot of effort in along the way. 15. Have high standards. Having high standards for ourselves has more weight than you can imagine. For some, it could be stressful, but I'd put those standards into something you are passionate about and want to get better at. Take a study that focused on limits, for example. It focused on a group of cyclists who were told to bike as hard as possible for 4,000 meters. Later on, those same participants were asked to do the same track and were given an avatar to race against. What the participants didn't know about was the avatar was programmed to be faster than their previous time. What happened next was the cyclists either kept up with the avatar and some surpassed them. What this means for us in setting higher standards is that when we place higher standards in ourselves, we'll often reach out and strive to hit that standard or surpass it on instinct. A growth mindset is limitless as there is always new information being put into the world. We may not be soaking up every bit of information, but having a strategy to grow in areas we care about can help us in our lives overall. When we start to change the way we think, act, and learn, great things can be achieved.